Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 164 of the Mike from Maine Show, the place where we do daily interviews with successful online entrepreneurs. This is your host, Mike Thomas, and today on the show I have Joshua Zamora on to talk about his Tube Takeover course. Now, Josh has been really successful in creating YouTube videos and monetizing them in multiple different ways. One of the ways he does it is that he sends people directly to affiliate offers. Another way that he does it is he uses the videos as lead magnets to get people onto his list and then market to them through autoresponders. So through something like Aweber. But today we're going to talk specifically about his course and his journey and really how he goes about doing it. If you're watching the video version right now, looking at the sales page, this course was originally put out almost a year ago. And when I first got him on, one of my concerns was maybe, okay, it's in the internet years, a year can kind of be a long time. But in the interview, he reveals a video that he put out a while back. It's still ranking fine, and there's still people taking his course and doing really well with it. So it's all still relevant even a year later, which is something for me that's really important because I don't want to do something now and then a few months down the line have it be de-indexed or have it just be a temporary solution. I want to be doing something that's going to work in the long run. And if you take a look at Josh's sales page here, I mean, he's got tons of proof, tons of just actionable, just results that have come from what he's doing. So it's definitely one of my favorite interviews. I'll go right ahead and say that. I really enjoyed this one, and I really think that Josh is doing something that is really learnable and applicable not only for him, but for his students, for us. So let's get right into it with Joshua Zamora. So we're here today with Josh Zamora. Josh, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Mike.
Let's get right into it, Josh. And why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of how you got to where you are today?
All right. Well, I'm 25 years old. I'm born and raised here in Miami. And I got started online back in the end of 2010. It was about October. Well, actually, I found out about online marketing before that, probably about 9 or 10 months prior to that. And the way that I initially knew that you can make money or found out that you can make money online was through an infomercial. I was sitting at home, just watching TV, and there was an infomercial with Anthony Morrison that came on. I don't know if you know Anthony Morrison, but
maybe if I saw him, I would know who he was.
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty popular now. But the reason that the infomercial caught my attention was because he was being interviewed by Mark Victor Hansen. And Mark Victor Hansen is the guy that wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
Oh, okay.
So, and the reason that it caught my attention was because I had just seen Mark Victor Hansen on stage earlier that year in January.
Cool.
So, I saw him again on TV interviewing this 25-year-old kid talking about how, he's making this money online promoting things like Netflix and products from Best Buy and things like that. So I was like, wow, these are things that people use on an everyday basis, and this guy's making money with it. So, they have the typical pitch, call, we're giving you a free book. I called, he sent me the free book. I think I read maybe a page or two of it and never opened it again. But what happened with that infomercial is that it planted the seed in my head that it was possible to make a living online. And, what happened, 8 or 9 months went by, and I really didn't do much. I was, still doing research, getting on people's lists, going through the typical buying the $37, $47 products, just jumping from one strategy to the next. And I was just really overwhelmed by the end of 8 or 9 months. So I completely did not touch the computer for a couple weeks. And then I came back to it. And somehow, some way, I don't know how it happened, but I ended up on Mike Filsame's list. Mm-hmm. I guess it was, within signing up through all those lists, I must have ended up on Mike Filsame's list.
It's a pretty popular list to be on.
Yeah. And at first I was like, who is this guy? How did I get on his email? But every email that he sent out was really captivating for me. And I actually had bought several of his products prior to what I'm about to get into now. So when this came around, I was like, all right, I was kind of like a warm lead, you can say, for him. So around October 2010, he started sending out emails that he was partnering up on a product with a guy named Chris Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
And I started opening those emails. It was one of those launches where they were releasing drip feeding content, one video a day or one video every other day. And there was something about Chris Farrell that just resonated with me. His style, he's very laid back. He's an English guy, so he's very well mannered. And it was captivating for me, and
Sure.
I went in and I jumped in to the product. It was a $2,000 product.
Wow.
So I was telling myself, if I'm gonna drop the money for this product, I better make this work. So I jumped in, both feet in, and I'm like, all right, all I'm gonna do for the next 3 months is just consume all of this information, because it was a pretty big training. And prior to that, let me just go back a little bit. I knew nothing about online marketing. The only thing I knew about is that you can make money online, but I didn't know how to create a website. Even from buying all these little products, none of them ever went through the very beginning, how to buy a domain, how to set up hosting. And that's what I needed, because I didn't know how to do that stuff. And that's another reason that I was attracted to this program with Chris Farrell, because that's what he was talking about. He's like, look, I'm gonna take you from zero and show you how to make an income online. So that's what basically the training was about. It was about affiliate marketing, but really starting from scratch. So I went through it, and it was just everything. I learned how to put my first image online. I learned how to buy a domain, how to set up hosting, all the little things that you basically need to get started online. And from there, I spent the 3 months going through the entire program from about October to December. And then, I told myself in January, I'm just going to start taking full massive action. And I did that. And by April, because the product was about list building and affiliate marketing. So from January to about April, all I did was build my list, and it was working. And I started getting excited, but I was like, wow, I'm actually building a list here. And by April, it was actually during the week of my birthday. I remember, I'll never forget this day. This is the day that I made my first commissions.
Nice.
I sent out an email. I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot, because I hadn't promoted to my list the entire 4 months that I was building it. And by the end of April, I was like, all right, let's give this a try. I personally purchased the product on Traffic Generation, and I was like, this is a really good training program. Let me see if my list will be interested in it. So I sent out an email, and sure enough, about 15 minutes after I sent out the email, boom, my phone goes off. PayPal sent you 39 and change, because the product was about $47 or something. So I made my first commission.
Nice.
And I was ecstatic, and then about 30 or 40 minutes after that, another one came in, and another one came in, and I ended up making about $120 within a few hours.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty exciting.
Let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
There's something cool, like interesting here, that I want to see what answer you have for this. You have this $2,000 product that, I mean, in that product, as we all know, pricing for different products a lot of it's just psychological. A lot of it, that product, some people might have sold that product for $50. Some people might have sold it for $5,000. Some people might have sold it for $9.99. There's so many different price points and so many different ways of pricing things. Anyways, regardless of that, you talk about, okay, you put this investment in, and you said, okay, I'm gonna put $2,000 of my money, which is a pretty big amount of money for anyone, even if you're super rich. $2,000 is not chump change.
Yeah.
You put that money down, and you say, okay, I'm going to put down those 3 months, and I'm going to really do this. And then you said something important. You said, after that, I'm going to take massive action. Now, do you think your success from this came from the fact that it was like the course, like fully that the course was really expensive and like you really put the time in the course, or that you actually took the knowledge that you got from that course? I mean, it could have been maybe any course, I don't know, but took the knowledge that you got from that course, and you actually like worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. Because I know there's lots of people that will buy these products and they'll do a little bit and then they'll say it doesn't work or whatever. But I don't know, like with what I've just asked you, I know it's all over the place. But
Yeah.
give me your gut answer to what I just asked.
When I first bought the product, I knew even from the moment I saw the infomercial, I'm the kind of person that if you show me just show me that 10% of what you're telling me can work for me, and I'll figure out the rest. I'll take it and I'll take off running with it. So even when I went through the training program, there was still a lot of stuff. It was overwhelming because
Yeah.
I've never knew any of these things. So even though I was still in the back of my head, this was just overwhelming for me. I didn't care. I'm gonna go out there and I'm still going to make figure it out. Even if I remember sometimes even though I had learned how to put my first image online,
Mm-hmm.
when I actually went to do it, it wasn't working. So I was just getting frustrated. Things were still not working, even though I was taking action. But the good thing is that I persevered and I kept fighting through it, even though there's still going to be bumps in the road, no matter how good the training program is. So I think it's a combination of both. That you have that kind of roadmap to guide you, but even when things go wrong, you taking action is what's going to help you continue, to where you actually become successful.
It's fighting through those little bumps in the road that I think really differentiates the successful people from the people that give up. Like you mentioned that it showed you how to put that little image online, but that could really be like, and you were like, okay, this is just a simple little thing, put an image on, but and the person teaches you how to do it, and then you can't do it, and you're like, oh, like
Yeah.
if I can't put this image on my website, then how am I supposed to like convince people in the end to like buy from me and trust me and create good products and stuff? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for you said it's putting an image online was simple, but for me it wasn't. I mean, for me when I put my first image online and I saw it, I was jumping up and down. I was like, wow, I actually took an image that was on my desktop and I put it online on a website, and I was just I'd never done that, so I was completely ecstatic. I couldn't stop jumping around.
so you sent that first email out and you got 130 whatever dollars
Yeah,
in
yeah.
commissions. What did you do then? Because some people I could see like they're gonna send their list like, okay, well if I get that, like then there's these times when you're like, okay, well if I send out one email to my list and I make $130, and maybe if I send out 7 emails a week and I promote 7, like there's all that balance, and there's so many things to learn, like how to promote and how to do things. So where did you go then? Where did you go?
Yeah, well, from there, the good thing about Chris Farrell is that he talked about that. He's like, look, you can promote products, but you also want to treat your list right and give them good information. So actually, after that, I built my list for about 4 or 5 months, and even though I was still fairly new and I made a little bit of money with my list, I was still. It's funny because even though I had found something that worked and it was working, I still jumped around into different things. So when that happened, I discovered what SEO was and
Mm-hmm.
how to make money with niche sites and things like that. And this is how I ended up, with video marketing. Um, and I still do list building as well, along with video marketing. But the way that after I made that initial income with my list, I started getting into the niche sites. So I spent about the next year just putting up these niche sites, and it was going really well. I
What
got
year
one.
are we in, by the way? Like, put us in a time
Right
frame.
now we are in 2011.
2000.
So after about April, in about May, I started getting into the niche sites, and I put up about, I want to say, 5 sites, and each of them started making a decent income. My first niche site actually was about how to play chess, which that was pretty fun to put together because I actually play chess on a daily basis. So when I forgot what training program I went through that actually taught me how to put together these niches. Actually it was just a product by Matt Carter, um, and I started learning this information and again putting it into action and making it happen. And he mentioned, do something that you like, put together a site of something that you like. So I put together a site about how to play chess, and then from that, once I knew that I can do it because the site started ranking, I started going into things that really didn't interest me, like things that I knew can make me money. And by December of that year, I had gotten one site that was just making about $800 a month every month.
Was it the chess one? How did the chess one
No,
do?
no, the chess one, it made about $100 total.
Yeah.
But what I did with it was I started building a list from it. So I still have the list to this day. I don't do much with it, but it's a list of about 350 people that opted into that list. So I know that that's a good niche, and in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking about going back into that niche and just building the list and monetizing it because I know it's a good niche. People, I was getting about three to five opt-ins a day on that website.
Well, sounds like like something that you're interested in. Like if you can have other income streams coming in, and that can be kind of like your fun niche. Like
Yeah,
that can be your fun one that maybe you make some money off of once in a while, but it's when you're actually interested in it, it makes it a lot easier to be able to maintain.
yeah, absolutely. So from that, by December of that year, I had about five niche sites, and the thing about that, it was in December, most of these sites were monetizing with Amazon.
Hmm.
So in December, I ended up making double of what I was making the entire year because of the holiday season.
Hmm.
So in December, I think I ended up making about $1,600 or $1,800
Nice.
from my niche sites, and I saw this, and I was like, whoa, So
Merry
in
Christmas.
yeah, I was like, "Oh, thank you for paying for my presents, my own shopping." And now we're in 2012, and 2012, because of the results that I got in December, I was like, "Okay, Amazon works for these niche sites." So for the first part of 2012, I started putting a ton of Amazon niche sites up, and I put about, I think, 10 within a 4-month span. And as we all know, come April 2012, all the income that I was seeing, and it was growing, it was going well. Come April 2012, boom, Google laid the hatchet on me, and it
What
just
was that? Penguin?
yeah, Penguin in 2012. And since I got started at the end of 2010, I mean, and I was just brand new to everything. I didn't know what all these updates were. People were talking about Panda, and then they were talking about Penguin, and I didn't know what any of these things were. So um, I was like, Penguin update, okay, and it just completely wiped out all my sites,
What did
all
you
of them.
do? Tell me about that day. Tell me about that. What do you remember? Like, do you remember when that happened or what you
Yeah,
were doing? Like,
yeah,
it's like when if you ask like our people in our parents' generation, like when Kennedy got shot, was that the same feeling for you?
yeah. I mean, it was just because I remember the day perfectly because I was checking on my phone because all these people were talking about the Penguin update, and I was checking my phone almost every 10 minutes. All right, my site is still ranking. My site is still, and it was one site that I had a lot invested in because I had turned it into a complete authority site, and I published another, I think, about 30 or 40 articles on it. So I had taken that site from about 100 visitors a day to about 500 to 600 visitors a day just by doing a few simple tweaks and adding more content to it. And this is the site that I was checking every 10 minutes. And then it's like, okay, I'm still ranking, but there were some terms that were dropping and I wasn't seeing it. So I was worried about, but the main keyword I was targeting was still ranking. So I'm like, okay, I may be okay. But then by the next day, I woke up and the first thing I did was check my rankings, and sure enough, boom, I was gone.
I know what that's like.
And it was just one of those feelings like, oh man, all this work, and I thought I was gonna, kind of slide over it, and it wasn't gonna affect me, but it did. And this is how the whole video marketing thing started, because around that same time, the same guy, Matt Carter, who I originally was learning the SEO things from, released a product about video marketing, and that was around April or May for of that same year of 2012.
Did you lose all your income overnight, or did you go down to like you mentioned what was the number 800 a month you were doing about, and then
Yeah.
did you go from 800 to 0 or 800 to 100? Like, what did you do?
No, it did gradually drop. I did still end up making I think the following month I made 500, then 300, then 200, and then by the fourth months out of the penguin update is when it just started going to 20, $40 a month.
Sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you started transitioning into video marketing, which the product that we're going to talk about today, it's about that. But before we talk about specifically about the product, yeah, tell us a little bit about your kind of entrance into video marketing.
Yeah, so around that same time, it was perfect because around that same time, I was really feeling down because all this work that I had put into it was wiped away. So Matt Carter had released this product that showed people how to get quicker rankings with video marketing. And so I purchased that product. And the amazing thing about what happened with that product, which was really gave me the video marketing bug, was I immediately, as soon as I went through the training program, I immediately created a video about the training program, review video about the training program that I just bought. And I was like, okay, if this is really going to work, I'm going to try and rank this video for this product, because that was one of the strategies they talked about was, creating videos for products, product launches. So I did that. I created the video. I followed the steps exactly how the training program outlined, and the video ranked in about 24 hours. Boom, shot straight to the first page.
Instant gratification is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I woke up the next day and I was like, whoa. And then the amazing thing was a couple of days after that, I saw my first commission. Boom, it was about $24.
How much was it?
It was about $24 for that first commission.
How much was the course?
67, I believe.
Okay,
67,
so you got almost half of it back right there.
Yeah. It was 50% commission, and the amazing thing was it didn't stop. I mean, the next day there was about 2 or 3 sales, and it was just the entire span of the 2 weeks that the launch was going on, I was making sales, and I ended up making about, I want to say about 25 sales. It was over $700.
Nice.
So whatever that is divided by 25, that's how many sales I made. So I was just like, whoa. And I wasn't touching the video. I put it up. I ranked it. I don't even think I sent any links to it. And I mean, I made about $700. So I put it up, and I kept, checking my stats, and I was making sales almost daily.
Let me ask you a question. Were you ranking just for the keyword, like for the course name, or were you ranking for by the course name, or course name review, or bonus? What were you ranking for?
Yeah, I was ranking for product name review, product name reviews, the product name, and product name bonus.
Nice.
So it was, and the amazing thing was, as soon as I did that, I recorded a video of my results and I sent it to Matt Carter, and he ended up putting it on the sales page. So even to this day, my video is on the proof of right at the very top of their sales page.
That's pretty cool too. I mean, it's also a good way. On a side note, it's a good way to develop a relationship with that person. Like, I'm sure Matt Carter knows who you are now, and he actually is going to he finds value from you. He knows that you've helped him out in the past. So if something else happens in the future, maybe he would be willing to help you out or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's that relationship that you formed with him. So there's more than just the commissions that will come out of that. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay. So you had initial success with that. What did you do then? Same thing. Same thing I always do. I started taking massive action. I started putting up a ton of videos. And I like that about you. I kind of want to put Josh Zamora equals massive action. Yeah, there's no time to waste. I mean, like I said at the beginning, you show me that what you're telling me works, even just a little bit. Even if I could just get 10% of the results you're telling me I could get, just show me that, and I'll figure out the rest. I'll just, there's no time for me. There's no time to waste. You learn something, you go out and do it. Even if you don't know it all, just go out and do it, and you'll learn the things, throughout the process that you wouldn't learn just from sitting there and trying to learn the information, because there's always bumps in the road that you're going to have to go through. I like it. Okay, so massive action. What was massive action? I mean, from there, I started putting up about 3 to 5 videos a week. But what I did was, because I started putting up a lot of videos, and I started getting a little bit overwhelmed because I had to rank each of these videos. So what I did was I broke up
the videos into three video groups basically. So I started working on 3 videos at a time and ranking those 3 videos before moving on to the next one because I wanted to make sure I didn't overwhelm myself. And what I did was I created 3 videos in the same niche. So every
Okay.
time I created these little packs of videos, they were all in the same niche. So that when I started building the links, I can build links to each of them because they were all related. And I started doing that, and it started working well. I was working on 3 videos, and then once I started getting more comfortable, I started working on packs of 6 videos and packs of 6 videos, and I just kept doing that over and over, and that's where I found my limit. I found that the 6 videos was basically where it was perfect, where I didn't get overwhelmed. But if I worked on more than that, I knew that I would start getting a little bit overwhelmed. So. That's what I did. I continued that throughout for the rest of 2012, and I mean, even to this day, it's working great. I mean, video marketing is something that I really enjoy doing because it's simple, it's fast, I get quick results, um, and that's between April to about June, I started putting up all these videos, and that's around June is I started getting some pretty good results. I kept ranking videos pretty quickly, usually within a 2 week window. So what I decided to do in June, which is how my product came about, was I decided to okay, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing a few things differently from what Matt Carter was teaching because I kind of developed what worked for me
Mm-hmm.
because even though I learned originally from someone else, that's usually what happens for me. I kind of put my own twist on it of something that I feel comfortable doing. And so in June, I was like, okay, let's see. It's working great for me. Let's see if I can show what I'm doing to some other people. Um, so what happened was I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a case study because that's how I like to learn. I like to uh, show people that things really work. So I was like, all right, what I'm going to do, I'm not just going to create a training program. I'm going to create a case study. So I created a video and I recorded everything that I did, and it worked out well. I mean, it was actually a pretty competitive keyword that I was going after, so I didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay,
Is the
let's see.
keyword still ranking that you went for at that time? Because that was a year ago that you did that course. So I mean,
Yeah,
things can change.
yeah, I'm still ranking for one of them, and I still get sales every once in a while. But the only downside to the case study was I created a ton of competition for myself.
Yeah, everyone that I mean, I think you've had over 500 sales. I don't know how many sales you had of it,
Yeah,
but
no, yeah, for no for that particular video, I for
no, I
about
mean
3 or
for the product you had over 500
oh yeah,
sales.
yeah for my product, yeah. Yeah, so I created a ton of competition for myself. And the funny thing is that people would email me asking me to help them to rank a video for the keywords that I'm ranking for. And
You're like, dude, just try to rank for something different. This is just
I'm like,
an
please.
example.
I was getting these emails every week, just people asking me, how can I rank for the keyword you're ranking for? And I mean, I'm like, look, there's so many other keywords that, I mean, there's unlimited amount
Yeah.
of keywords that you can target. Why do you have to go for the ones that I'm targeting? So, a few months after having to keep it up, and people, there was a ton of people that were creating these videos. So I think one of them is still ranking. I just after I started seeing all this competition and having to keep it up and keep sending backlinks to it so I can outrank all these people that were trying to rank me. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let it go.
Josh, tell me the keyword that it is. I know
It,
you kind
it's
of hide it in the sales page,
yeah,
but forget that. I don't want you hiding things like that.
yeah, it's actually HostGator review and HostGator reviews. Uh,
HostGator review. Let's see if it's still
yeah,
ranks in. I mean Google Turkey, but
yeah,
oh yeah, it's position 3 in Google Turkey. HostGator review, easy coupon code, save 25. And it says Joshua Zamora, and
yeah,
if I go there, it's got 28,000
yeah,
views. Is
yeah,
that natural or was there any
yeah.
help there?
No, I think the only I've sent maybe about between 300 to 500 views myself.
Okay.
But after that, I mean, I was surprised recently when I checked it. I was like, "Whoa,
That's a
that's
lot
a
of
good,
views for a
yeah,
video.
yeah, that's a good
How much do
amount."
you think that's made you if you had to off the top of your head if you had to say?
Off the top of my head, I would say about $800.
It's not bad. And is that going to
And
bring in recurring income or is
yeah,
that just one-time sales?
no, that's just one-time sales, but it still makes a sale every once in a while. I mean, I haven't touched the video
Yeah.
in a while, but I think I did make a sale from it about a week ago. But the thing about it is that's 800 confirmed sales. I did make confirmed sale. I did make more, but for some reason, HostGator is a bit tricky. Sometimes they pay you for commissions, and sometimes they don't. I
I
don't know
know.
how they structure that. So there's a ton of there's a good amount of sales in my dashboard that show invalid or duplicate or things like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how they work that, but yeah, I mean that video made some good money.
What's cool about that is that I mean you made that video was a year. When was it? Let me see.
Yeah, that was about June of 2012.
Yeah,
Should be
May
June.
29th, 2012. That's almost a year ago from when we're recording this interview. So if anyone out there, I like it because people will be like, okay, well, is the video actually going to stay up or is it going to be ranking quickly and then move down the search results? And this is proof that it works. Nice,
Yeah, yeah.
nice, Josh. I
And,
like it.
and like I said, it's that like I kind of let that video go
Hmm.
because there was just so many people trying to target that term. So that's I mean I guess it's still ranking for you, and it's something that I haven't even touched for a while because I was just tired of trying to outrank all of these people that were going after the same term.
Talk to me about Talk to me a little bit about your ranking process. I know you don't want to give it all away, but I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I'm looking here and I'm seeing that you've got a list of related search terms that you've put in there to kind of what's that term? There's a term for when you put in the related search terms. What is it in SEO? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not off the top of my head.
Anyways, it's going to make it
Yeah.
more relevant for the search engines. It's going to see all these other search terms around it. I see you've got a link to the actual YouTube video in there. You've got a link to your referral. I see you've got the keyword in there a bunch of times. Yeah, talk to me about it.
Yeah, and the actually the good thing about that video is the way that I make the majority of the sales is actually through the coupon code. A lot of the people don't click on the link because in the HostGator dashboard it tells you how the sale came in, and it tells you if they came in through the coupon. So that's a good tip if anybody's trying to rank for a hosting company and they offer coupon codes. That's a great way to get sales.
So someone doesn't actually have to click on your link if they end up using your coupon code, even if they've gone through maybe someone else's link. You're gonna still get the commission.
Well, I'm not sure if they go through someone else's link and they use my code. I don't know how that works. But yeah,
And if they just go to HostGator, let's say they go to HostGator.com and then they find your coupon code and they enter your coupon code in, then that's going to credit you with the sale.
yeah, I
Okay.
get credit for it. Yeah, exactly. So the ranking process. I mean, for me personally, it always comes down to good optimization when you initially start, and then the links that you send to the video, which in SEO it's pretty much the same thing. So I really take a good amount of time and find good keywords to target and really optimize my videos so that I get a good amount of juice when I first initially upload it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take some time and I optimize the video. I make sure my keywords are in the title. And the way that I run my video marketing is I tend to target several keywords for the same video.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to put up 3 or 4 videos to each target different terms, but I like to rank the same video for several different terms.
You leverage the video.
Exactly. So, I put the keyword in the title, I put it in the description, I have those other related terms, and a lot of those related terms that you see in the bottom, those are terms that I'm also using to as my anchor text in my when I send links to it. So I use those terms in my anchor text, and I also in the tags you also want to make sure that you include not only the main keyword but again the several different variations of the same term. And the reason the link is there is because, a lot of times when you upload a video, and for if someone's confused, there's a link to my video in the description area. So the same video is linking in the description area. And the reason I do that is because there the people that scrape videos and post them other places. And a lot of times they'll scrape it with the description included, so you'll be able to get a free link even though they're using your video.
Cool.
And so that's been the basic optimization from it. There's still a few more steps into it and things that I've actually added even after my case study that I still continue to tweak and test with. And after that is the link building. And one of my favorite types of links that I send to my videos is social bookmarking. Not only because you can send a good amount in a short period of time, but Google tends to really like them for videos, and it tends sometimes with good optimization and bookmarks alone, I'm able to get to the first page within 24 to 48 hours.
Nice.
Depending on the keywords. So bookmarks I love bookmarks. I use about 3 different services for bookmarks, so I can send as many bookmarks as I can.
How much are you paying? I mean, I'm assuming that these bookmarking services are paid services.
Two of them are. Well, one of them is a paid service, which is Social Adder. It is a monthly service. Another one was Social Monkey. Social Monkey used to be free. When I initially signed up for them, it was free, so I never paid for it. But they do now have a $7 fee to get started, and they have other different packages. And then there's another software that I bought. It was a one-time software. I actually bought 2 of them, and I use one now more than the other. Okay. So one was about $150, and the one that I'm using more now was only I want to say $59 or about $60, and that's the one that I'm using more now.
Okay, after you've signed up, like I guess it sounds like some of these are one-time fees. Like for each video that you put up, how much money are you spending?
Because the bookmarking software, although it's a free software, not a free software, it's a one-time fee software. I still have to spend money for captures, so I don't have to sit there and solve the captures myself. So on an average run of the bookmarking software for captures is about $2, I would say $2 to put it up. And from there, it depends. If I run the bookmarking to the video and it ranks, I'll send the bookmarks and I'll wait a couple days, see where I'm ranking. And if I need to do more, I will. But usually, like I said, with the bookmarks, I rank pretty well. And if I need to do more, I may buy 1 or 2 Fiverr gigs. So I may be in $15 per video,
which isn't super cheap, actually. Like $15 if you put out a lot of videos, that can add up if you're not getting commissions back.
Exactly, and that's another reason why when I initially started, I would focus on those little packs of group videos that I set up. So I'll set up when I started, it was just 3 videos, and I would focus on ranking those 3 videos, get them ranking and get them producing sales before I moved on to the next one.
How many videos do you currently have now?
I have about 8 different channels, and each channel has anywhere from 5 to 20 videos on it. So I would say easily between 150 to 200 videos.
And have you ever gotten a channel banned?
Ooh, three channels. Yeah. And
why do you think they got banned? I've had a channel banned before. Why do you think your channel got banned?
The reason each video, one was my fault, and the other 2 was people flagging my videos. So for some reason, someone decided to go flag my video. I got the notification someone has flagged, XYZ video. And for some reason, they didn't even give me a warning. They just completely closed the account just because that person flagged that one video. And the one that was my fault, it was me being lazy, and I used someone else's video. a copyrighted video, and it's from a pretty big company, so they found it, and I got the notification that they filed a copyright claim, and they took down the video and shut down the account. So
And was it a big income loss for you? Was there anything in it that?
yeah, actually, I had one video on there that was making about $500 a month.
Wow.
So I was pretty mad about it, but I set up another channel, and I actually got the different video ranking for the same keywords.
Huh. So you got it. I mean, you had all the videos on your desktop, probably. You still had
Yeah.
them, and so you just uploaded them again on a new account, and
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that I definitely recommend, to always keep a copy of your videos. I keep them on my external hard drive, so if anything ever happens, boom, I can always upload. And a good thing is that that video that I made, I kept it kind of general, so I can use it for different keywords as well and different products. So
okay. If you say you have around 150 videos,
yeah.
and we multiply that by $15, it costs you about $2,250. Let's say maybe it costs you $1,500, maybe it costs you $3,000. I don't know. Like, what would you say that it's cost you to put those up?
Well, yeah. The thing about, I have all those videos, but I didn't go through the ranking process for all of them. There was at one point where I was just throwing up videos, and just getting overwhelmed. Before I started working on those little packet groups, and even after I started getting even though I had my system, there was a point within that where I still was like, all right, I want to put up more videos. So
Massive action.
Yeah, massive action, but also I started getting overwhelmed. So I do have a lot of videos, but there's a lot of them that I never went through the entire ranking process to get them ranked. Just because I wanted to laser focus on the ones that I wanted to get ranking and get producing before I moved on. But yeah, I would say I would say about $1,000 to $1,200 to work on the videos that I had working, because I also have like I said, some services that are monthly, like that one social bookmarking service. It was about $47 a month, and I had another service that was about $97 a month. So. There was these services, and the good thing is that I did initially start off with all of these services. I gradually moved up once the 3-pack videos would start producing. I could start doing more and buying more software.
Okay, the $1 million question is, how much are these videos making you now a month?
Right now, I make about $2,000 a month from my videos.
Is that pretty steady? Is that?
Yeah, it'll jump from 2,000, 2,500, 1,800, things like that. And there's other videos that I use solely for list building. So some videos will bring me anywhere from 2 to 5 opt-ins a week. Some bring me 1 to 2 a day. So that's where I'm starting to lean more towards, is using my videos for list building. So that I can have my back-end funnel be the one to produce the sales. Because the reason why I'm moving more towards that is because of those channels that got banned. Those channels that got banned, they were making great money, and they were sending a lot of traffic to the affiliate offer. So I was thinking, to kind of bulletproof myself, to capture those leads first. And even if later down the road the new channel that I set up got shut down, I still had those leads that I collected.
That's smart. That's a whole new strategy. That could be a whole nother interview on just that tactic there. Okay, a lot of times, like when I was making AdSense niche sites, usually it was about 20% of my sites were making me 80% of my income. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of true with you? Do you have like a small maybe group of videos that are making, out of those 150, do you have like 20, 30 videos or maybe 10 videos that are making you most of your money?
Yeah, exactly. I have one video alone that made about $700 this last month, and this month it's already at about $400. So yeah, there are those one videos that just completely take off and make a ton of sales. And and then there's those that make $100 a month. Like the HostGator one, I'll make 50 bucks per commission. So I may make a sale once a month or once every month. So yeah, there is that group that makes the majority of the sales.
Cool, man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we. No, I wanted to ask you this. When's the last time you made a new video?
Uh, Monday,
One day.
Monday or Tuesday.
Was it for a
Yeah.
lead collection or was it for
No, it
affiliate?
was it was for an affiliate product, and it ranked. I checked it yesterday, and I didn't even send any links to it, and it's ranking already.
Your website, zamoraiblogger.com. On there, you talk a bit about your YouTube strategy and list building. Did you find that you got more traction, more viewers once you started being successful yourself? Once you started showing, like, did you find you get emails now with people asking you all the time, like, to tell you about your strategies and tell you like how's that worked? I'm kind of interested in how your blog has developed.
Yeah, and the main purpose of my blog and the reason that I put it together was to share the results that I was getting online, share what's working, what's not. And yeah, I mean, I get emails almost daily now of, help me with this, help me with that, and I try to do what I can. For those people that are on my list, they know that I'm trying to make myself as available as I can. If you have a question, you can email me, and I'll do my best to respond. But yeah, I mean, the main purpose of that blog is to share what I'm doing and what's working and how it's working. And of course, I use it a lot for list building as well. There's a lot of great freebies that I give away there. I put together a WordPress training, and I put together a short report on video marketing that I give away as well.
And for people that are interested in learning how to make these YouTube videos that you're making, and they end up purchasing Tube Takeover Formula, are they going to learn everything that you're doing? Are you just kind of like, I feel like when you were talking before about the course, the $2,000 course that you took, that kind of showed you from the beginning to the newbie to the advanced, like, is it that kind of a course, or is it for like mid-level? Who's it for?
Yeah, well, the course is, like I said, it is a case study. So I did not get too into the how to make the video, but there is a kind of like an upgrade to the course that does cover how I make videos with PowerPoint.
Okay.
And that was the biggest question that I would get from people, is how to make the PowerPoint video. So I did put together a course on that. But within the training program, I share every kind of. There's three main kind of videos that I use, and in the course, I embedded the three different kind of videos that I use. So one is PowerPoint, the other one is screencast, like the HostGator video. You'll see it's a screencast video, and the other one, which I don't do much today of, is using the merchants videos, because like I said, those accounts, that one account that got closed was because I used a copyrighted video. So, but I do use it every once in a while, depending if because what I did was I used the copyrighted video to promote a different product. So if there's a video on the sales page that you're using, then usually you can use that video without a problem, because you're using that video to send traffic to that page. If once you use it for something else, then that's when you can get in trouble. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I mean, one thing, like, I mean, I've mentioned this a ton of times, is just take massive action. I mean, even if use the small successes to push you to the next action that you have to take. Because, like I said, when I got started, I knew nothing about online marketing. So every little success that I had kept me pushing forward to the next one. So even if you don't, people try to go from zero to making sales right away. And when I first went through that training program, it was the little successes. It was buying my first domain, setting up the hosting for that domain, putting in my first image online, and all these little successes were what was pushing me to the next one. I was like, all right, if I can if I can buy a domain and set up hosting, I can put up a website. If I can set up an image and put it online, all right, I can maybe put a video online. So each little success was pushing me to the next one. So for anybody watching that's looking to get started, just continue, take action, and use the little successes to push you forward.
It's great advice. Take massive action on the little steps one by one. So don't try to do it all at first. Just take massive action on what you know, and that will move you on into the right direction.
Exactly.
Cool, man. Well, again, thank you so much, and have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed the interview with Josh. If you're interested in checking out his method of making money with YouTube, you can go to mikefrommaine.com/tube takeover. That's mikefrommaine.com/tube takeover. Also, make sure you get on my mailing list to get emails every time there's a new interview. You can get on that at mikefrommaine.com. At the top, there's a little subscriber box. Put your email in there, and you'll be notified of everything I do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.